back to my channel. This week, I'm going to be doing a random number generator chooses how many manga I read in a day. So I've seen so many people doing like random number generator chooses how many hours I read for, or chooses how many pages I read. And I want to do 5 days. I want to do Sunday today till Thursday. So today's December 24th till Thursday, December 28th. So 5 days, and every day I want the random number generator to choose how many manga I read. And it's going to be anywhere from 3 to 16 volumes. I chose this because I don't want to ever just read one volume of manga. That's just not enough in my opinion. And I actually have some omnibus editions that like I could read 3 omnibus editions, and so it would be like reading more, which is, you know, what I kind of want to do. And then 16 because I can do 16 individual ones, and that will take me about 8 hours to read. I think about 8 hours is the most I could really read in a day. So that's why I chose 3 to 16 volumes. Let's spin this number generator and find out how many manga volumes I'm going to be reading for today. So I just found this one. I Googled it and I put in the minimum amount and the max amount. So let's see what it says. Ooh, 13! Oh boy, I don't know if I have a series that is 13 volumes long. That's a, Alright, well, I'm gonna go and look through my manga, and then I'll get back to you and let you know what I'm gonna be reading for today. Actually, that was easier than I thought it was gonna be. I literally have a shelf over here of overflow manga that isn't on my main, like, display shelves. And I actually have a 13 volume series. It's called A Devil and Her Love Song. So this is the first volume. So this series is about Maria Koei. She's gorgeous and whip smart, a girl who seems to have it all, but when she unleashes her sharp tongue, it's no wonder some consider her to be the very devil. Maria's difficult ways get her kicked out of an elite school, but this particular fall may actually turn out to be her saving grace. Maria's frank nature gains her more enemies at her new school, but her angelic singing voice inadvertently catches the attention of Yusuke Kanda and Shin Meguro. Can these boys mend her hardened heart, or will they just end up getting scorched? And so this is a Shoujo Beat series, which I'm trying to collect all of these, so it's also good that I'm going to be reading them. Maybe this is a love triangle, since there's 2 guys who might be able to mend her broken heart. This is also T for teen, so it'll probably be like 2 guys are interested in her, and she's probably going to be kind of like standoffish. Is it tsundere that are kind of like cold? I wonder if she's a tsundere, but I guess we'll find out. But yeah, I think I bought this series either late 2022 or early 2023, I believe. So I've had this for a little while. It hasn't been sitting on my shelf for years, but it's long enough. So yeah, I'm going to start reading those, and I guess I'll check in after the first volume, and then maybe as things happen, kind of let you know how I'm feeling about the series. First volume read. So this is a little different than it talks about on the back. So we have our main girl character, Maria. She has been kicked out of the Catholic girls' school that she was going to, and she says it's for beating up a teacher. But it seems like Maria can look at someone and see who they really are, kind of like see their deepest, darkest secret, the them that they're trying to hide from the world. Like she can see past people's personas that they put on when dealing with certain people. And so I'm guessing this teacher probably was doing something bad, and maybe she confronted him about it, and then they got into a scuffle. I'm sure we'll find out later. But she's very direct, and she just blurts out what people don't want others to know. So she's not very liked, and she's now at a new school, and she's basically being bullied by the girls in her class, and they're trying to cause issues for her and get her expelled. Even though all she's doing is telling them about themselves. And then we have our 2 guys, Yusuke and Shin, who I believe are going to be our 2, like, love interests. and they both have kind of taken an interest in Maria and are trying to, I guess, kind of look out for her because they know that she, I guess, is being misjudged by everyone, even though everyone's saying that she's a devil, which I don't understand why. Like, yeah, she's blunt and she tells you how it is, but I wouldn't consider that being a devil. Like, she's pointing out what these people have wrong with them, the things that they're hiding, and they're acting like she's an evil person, even though if she can see it, then other people might see it too, and it's something that they need to work on. I gave the first volume 3 stars. I like where it's going, but I don't think the first volume was very impactful, so I'll move on to number 2 and see if it gets any better. Alrighty, so I just finished volume 3. I'm getting like Comey Can't Communicate vibes, but like the opposite. So Comey Can't Communicate is about this girl who has such extreme social anxiety she literally can't talk. But like she's gorgeous and everyone thinks she's so cool and like admires her. And like inside she's just like a bundle of nerves and she doesn't really have any friends because everyone thinks she's just so cool that she's like too far above them to like be friends with her. And she just wants friends so badly. Well, in A Devil in Her Love Song, it's kind of like the opposite. This girl is pretty and she like talks too much. She says things that people don't want to hear, and she doesn't really know how to communicate with people in a way that is effective and like meaningful. And so she just blurts out, oh yeah, you're just acting this way because of this, this, and this. And like, she's basically pointing out their true selves, but not like the positiveness of their true, like apparently all of the kids in her class are just like not very good people for the most part. It's causing like conflict because they don't like the things she's saying, but at the same time they're true. And so she has accumulated a few friends. Kind of. They kind of understand her, I think. And she wants to be friends with everyone in her class. She wants to get along with everybody, but she just doesn't know how to communicate with them. So I'm getting very similar vibes. Only this I feel is more serious and more drama heavy, where Comey Can't Communicate is more like heartwarming and slice of life. Yeah, it's interesting, and I'm pretty sure this one was written years before Comey Can't Communicate. I just found that really interesting that I was getting similar vibes from this, so yeah, I'm gonna keep on reading. So it's the next day. I did end up reading all 13 volumes yesterday. I finished the 13th volume at 2:17 a.m. today. So technically it carried over till the next day, but I finished it before I went to bed for the night. Overall, I think the series is like a 3.5 series. I think I gave 2 or 3 volumes 4 stars, and then all the other ones I gave 3 stars. And there was a little inconsistency with like the character. There were things that were happening in the first volumes that then later her personality like changed to like fit her backstory that the, I guess, manga-kin then came up with and decided for her, which I don't know if I hadn't like binge read the series all in one day, I don't know if I would have noticed that change, but because I did binge read it all, I was like, wait, just a few volumes ago this was happening and it wasn't an issue, and then now all of a sudden it is? What's changed? It was kind of like if you watch Back to the Future and then Back to the Future 2. In Back to the Future 2, there's this big thing about Marty McFly being a coward and like a chicken, and like it really fires him up. It makes him angry if anyone calls him that or implies that he is a coward. Where in the first movie, it was never mentioned. Never mentioned. It was never brought up. It was never hinted at. Nothing. All of a sudden, his character completely changed for this one specific thing in the second movie. And that's kind of what happened. Like the first half, I would say Maria is a certain way when she interacts with people. She is very reserved. She will flinch and stuff when people touch her. But in the second half of the series, it's very much like, oh, there's this big story behind it, and it's like exacerbated, and like it's more noticeable. Where in the beginning, before like this backstory of hers even was mentioned, she'd flinched and whatever every once in a while, but for the most part it wasn't that big of a deal, and people would hug her and everything was fine. And then this is so funny, so they have in the back of volume 8, they have a little personality test, or it's basically they ask you questions and you say yes or no, and then you follow it through, and then it tells you how much of a devil you are. I got 90% devil. I got the main girl character. I am type A character. I'll tell you what it says. It says, you are not trying to be mean, but sometimes you make other people cry. You think you're acting nicely, but people are afraid of you. Does this happen to you? You have a high devil score because it comes naturally to you. So naturally that you're not even aware of it. It might be a good idea to reflect on your behavior ever so often. And I know I have in the past been told that I'm intimidating or like I'm very blunt and direct. And so people who are like more sensitive, like have more sensitive feelings and cry easily, apparently I guess I'm harder to interact with, which I'm just a very direct person. Like I also like people to be direct to me. We were actually having a conversation at work the other day about how like in emails I'm very much let me tell you what I need or the question I have and like tell me what you need or what information you need. Like I don't need all this like fluff. And I've had to learn to have like a greeting or be nice or whatever because I am a very direct person. And so another girl who doesn't like all that fluff, but I guess she's a little sensitive. So she noticed that the help desk director doesn't say hi before he says someone's name. He just says their name, comma, and then like what he wants or what the information he's imparting. And she noticed it, and it kind of hurt her feelings a little bit that he didn't say hi in his emails. And I was like, well, does he do that with everyone? And she goes, yeah, he does. I'm like, so it's just the way he communicates. And I was like, honestly, I didn't even notice he didn't say hi, because like I don't even like look at the greeting generally. It just, I need to know what you want. Tell me what you want and let's move on with our lives. And so then I was thinking, I was like, oh yeah, he doesn't say hi. But because I don't care about all that stuff, it didn't bother me, didn't notice it. So I kind of agree with that. I mean, I guess some people could take it as being mean, but it's just me being direct. And then my husband went and took it and he got type F, which was Yusuke, and it's 5% devil. So I'm at the top. Oh yeah, and he's the least. Because they have 90%, 85%, 60%, 40%, 30%, 5%, and 90%. Oh, there's another 90%. Okay, there's two. But he got the least devilish. It says, you can be friends with everyone, which is so true about him. You're good-natured and popular in your class, but maybe you're such a nice person that you don't make much of an impression on other people. You should try showing the mean or cool side of you once in a while so there's more of a contrast in your personality. That might make you even more appealing. I'm going to put it up here. If you want to take this, you can pause the screen. Hopefully you can read it. The quiz is a little tiny. Hopefully you can see that. There are the questions. And then here's type A, B, and C. And then here's type D through G. I don't know if you could read it or not, but I figured just in case, or if you have this manga series and you wanna and you've already taken it, let me know how much of a devil you are. I just thought that was so funny. I think that was an enjoyable read. Let's spin the wheel for today. Oh, it's also Christmas today, so Merry Christmas! Day 2 of my manga readathon is Christmas. Alright, let's spin this wheel and see how many volumes I have to read for today. Got 11! Okay, so I have another large number to do today. I mean, it's not as bad. I'm also starting earlier, so I should be able to get this done easier. Let me look at what I've got, and then I will get back with what I've decided on reading for today. Alrighty, so if I have an 11-volume manga series, I've already read it, or it's at my parents' house. So I actually decided on 2 different series to equal 11 volumes. So first off, I chose Fruits Basket Another volumes 1 through 4. So this is like a sequel series or spin-off series to the original Fruits Basket, and I believe it's following Toru and her significant other. If you haven't read Fruits Basket, I don't want to tell you who she ends up with, but I think it follows their kids. So yeah, I've been wanting to read this one for a while because I love Fruits Basket. I've read and completed Fruits Basket years ago, and so this is going to be a good one to read. And then in the middle of this year, I got this series, which I've been wanting for a while, and I finally was able to get it all. So I'm going to be reading Midnight Secretary, which is 7 volumes. And this one's about vampires. So this one, Kaya Satozuka prides herself on being an excellent secretary and a consummate professional. So she doesn't even bat an eye when she's reassigned to the office of her company's difficult director, Kyohei Toma. He's as prickly and hot as rumors paint him, but Kaya is unfazed until she discovers that he's a vampire. So Fruits Basket Another, I believe, is T for teen. That's basically a YA. And then this one here is mature. I'm gonna say our main characters are probably either in their late 20s or the early 30s is what I'm guessing. I am excited for both of these. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. So I read the first 2 volumes of Midnight Secretary, and I've given them both 4 stars so far. Our main characters are a secretary and the director. And he's 26 and she's 22. So they're actually younger than I thought that they were going to be. This is explicit content, just so you know, be warned. But basically, he is a vampire and he has to basically have sex with women to get them to have the best blood possible. One day he needs blood and none of the girls that he normally feeds him is available, so she offers to feed him, and he apparently really likes her blood. So now she's fallen in love with him, and he's clearly, I don't know if he's in love with her yet, but he's clearly infatuated with her. But he's trying to play it off because he's a vampire. He's so much better than humans. Like, why in the world would he need a human? In this book, she has stopped being his secretary, kind of. And she's working for someone else currently. And so there's drama afloat. There's drama happening. But yeah, I really like it so far. And the only other series this manga has out here in America is Spell of Desire. And actually when I saw this, I was like, I wonder if Spell of Desire, the other series I have, is by the same person, because the artwork is very similar, and I was right. 2 down, 9 more to go. He did the Darcy. Oh, that is so funny. Well, I just finished the 7th and final volume of Midnight Secretary. Overall, I give the series a 4 stars. I would say there's not really that much of a plot, like the relationship is the plot. Overcoming all these different obstacles and people who are getting in the way of their relationship is basically the entire plot. If you want a good, are they actually going to get together? Oh no, what's going to happen next? Oh, who's going to cause issues now? Oh, what problem's going to arise now? Like, you'd like this series. It also has the traditional, like, you know, get married and have a baby at the end, if you're into that. So it has that trope, too. But yes, is find out if a vampire and a human can make love work. So that's basically the whole point of the series, is because, like, there's, like, this pride where, like, vampires think that they're so much better than humans, and humans are just, you know, food and a tool to be used. But, of course, most humans don't even know that vampires exist. And then you have a vampire who falls in love with a human, and are they going to be able to make it work? So that's like the whole gist of this series. But it's really cute. It is also a very quick read, which I really enjoyed. So I am now starting volume 1 of Fruits Basket and Another by Natsuki Takaya. I'm looking forward to seeing if this is just as good as Fruits Basket, even though it's a lot shorter. Because I think the main story is 3 volumes, and then there's a 4th volume that has just like little, like almost like short stories in it. So I'm interested to see what happens. Good morning, everybody. It's now Tuesday, and I was only able to read 10 volumes yesterday instead of 11. I could have read the 11, but at 7 o'clock, I had 3 more volumes to read, and I had to make dinner, and then my husband and I watched Christmas with the Cranks, and then we watched Scrooged. So we watched 2 movies, and by the time all of that was done, it was about midnight, and like my eyes were really hurting, I guess from like reading all day and then watching 2 movies. So I forced myself through like 2 more volumes, and it was about like a little after 1 o'clock in the morning, and my eyes just hurt so much. I was like, I can't read anymore. So I'm gonna finish the last volume that I need to read for yesterday, and then I'll spin the wheel to see how many I have to read today. I'm still gonna get all 11 volumes read. It's just one of them had to carry over for today, so I'm gonna go and read that, and then I'll check back in. Alrighty, I just finished Fruits Basket Another Volume 4, which was my 11th volume that I was supposed to read for yesterday, so that's done. I think overall I'd give Fruits Basket Another 3 stars, because if you've read Fruits Basket, then you kind of get what's going on, but if you haven't read Fruits Basket, then this manga's not going to make any sense at all. It does follow the kids from the, you know, Toru and the Somas from the original series, but I just felt like the story just didn't really make much sense. Like, at first I'm like, is this actually the kids, or is this like a different like a reimagining or something? But then no, they're talking about their parents, and they're actually naming characters from the original Fruits Basket series. But we basically have all of these characters who look very similar to the original characters, and then we have this girl that I guess gives like Toru Honda vibes, and she's like being like adopted by like the Somas again. So it was very much like this cyclical like cycle type of thing. But they're talking about like the curse is broken. Like one of the characters that looks like Kyo, so I'm guessing it's Toru. Well, this might be a spoiler. Looks like Kyo. He makes a comment that if you hug him, he won't turn into a cat. If you know the original series, Kyo, when he's hugged, by someone of the opposite sex, he turns into a cat. The curse is broken, but there definitely the generational trauma of this curse still isn't over yet, and they're still like working through past trauma pretty much. So like not everything is like resolved, not everything's super happy and like joyful. It's still very dark. And our main girl character, like Toru, she's an orphan and her mom died, and she had a very close relationship with her mom. Well, in this one, our main girl character is living with her single mom, and her mom is horrible and treats her terribly. So there's kind of like this difference between the two, but they're also still very similar to each other, which I found interesting. I honestly don't think this was needed. Or maybe it should have been longer and like more fleshed out, but it just, the way it was written, I don't think it was necessary, honestly. But now it is time to spin the wheel and find out how many volumes I have to read today. Hopefully, I'm hoping for 8 or less, because I had 13, then 11, so it seems like it's going down. And I still kind of have a headache from yesterday in this area, so I think maybe I'm straining my eyes, but I have 3 more days to go. Oh, and also Barnes & Noble is having their big like hardcover sale, so I want to also get ready and go over there, so I don't want to have too many things to read, because I want to go and like look around and find some books that I can buy at a discounted rate. Yeah, let's spin the wheel and see how this day is gonna look for me. Ah, 7! 7 is actually a good number. It's not too many, but it's also not like a really small amount either. I don't know if I have a 7-volume series, so I'm gonna go and look around, see what I have, and then I'll get back to you with what I'm reading today. Alright, yeah, I don't have a 7-volume series. I mean, I think I own a 7-volume series, but I think I've read them all, so I don't have any here at my apartment. But I've decided to read Beyond the Clouds, The Girl Who Fell from the Sky, and this is a 5-volume series. I actually just finished this, I think, in November. I completed the series, and this is about a dreamlight odyssey that's part Studio Ghibli, part Final Fantasy. Living beneath the haze of Yellowtown, young Theo has never seen the stars. He works as a mechanic and spends his off hours digging through the town's trash heap for abandoned treasures. He has always had the soul of a dreamer, but he's given up on living the kind of fantastical life he's read about in books. Then one day he finds an amnesiac, injured girl with wings, and everything changes. Theo's talents help fix her wing, and their quest will take them beyond the clouds, further than either could have imagined. So it sounds like it's like an adventure, and it also looks really cute. The characters have like ears and stuff. He gives her a mechanical wing. I don't know, it just looks really cute. And also Studio Ghibli-esque. And then this isn't set in stone, because we'll have to see like how I'm feeling and how much time I have. But the plan would be to read The Wolf Boy Is Mine, Omnibus 1s and 2. So this would technically be 4 volumes I'd be reading, because it's 2 in 1. So if I have enough time, I'd like to read these. If not, I do have some single volumes that I need to read, so I might just grab those. So I won't tell you what this is about. If I do actually end up reading this one, I will tell you what it's about. But if not, then I want to talk about the books that I'm actually going to read. This is my plan for today. Now I need to eat and get ready to go to Barnes & Noble, and when I get back, I'll have probably a little haul. I'm so excited. I love book shopping. I just got back from Barnes & Noble. I did a little damage. It was so crazy busy in there. Like, I remember going last year when they had like their big hardcover sale, and I don't remember it being this busy, and like everything was really picked over. But I still got really good deals. So the first thing I knew, I was like, if this is still there, I want to grab this. And that's the hardcover, like, collector's edition of 5 centimeters per second. And this is, I think it was a movie first, and then it got turned into a manga. I'm pretty sure this is by the guy who, like, makes, like, the whole, like, movie, like, by himself and does everything for it. Makoto Shinkai. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, he, like, made the movie all by himself type of thing. He's like a really talented animator. It says, one more time, ever had trouble letting go of your love? A stunning official comics adaptation that manages to add new layers of emotion and intimacy to one of director Makoto Shinkai's defining works. Finally available in gorgeous hardcover. I think it's supposed to be kind of like a love story, like a sci-fi love story, I think. I don't remember exactly what it's about, but I know I wanted to read it, so I got the hardcover of that. And then I had seen this book previously, and I thought about it, but I was like, well, maybe I can just get it on my Kindle. I was like, I wasn't quite sure, but they had one copy left, and since it was 30%, well, actually, it's 33% off, and then if you're a premium member, you get another 10% off. Plus, then, for every $50 you spend, you get $20 in rewards. I ended up spending $63 and change on all of this. So I got The Dance of the Dolls by Lucy Ash. And this seems like it's gonna be like a ballet sisters like thriller. They're both dancers. And one of the sisters starts liking this guy that the other sister also likes. And then there's another guy in the picture. Oh, and they're practicing for Capilia. It says, both girls increasingly feel as though they are being watched. And as infatuation turns to obsession and sinister secrets begin to emerge, all starts to unravel. And this is set in 1933 in pre-war London. So I'm just interested. I'm really liking to read books around ballet. I'm also hoping to hopefully get back into ballet. Like, I'm planning on going... There's this dance school near me that has an adult, like, dance camp during the summer. It's, like, 1 hour class for 7 weeks. And I want to do that first. And then if I like it, like, if I like the school and I like the atmosphere and everything, then I want to see about enrolling in their fall classes. And they have where you can do adult ballet for an hour, and then you can do adult point for half an hour, like, almost right after. So it's basically like an hour and a half class once a week. So I'm hoping to maybe start doing that this upcoming fall, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited to read this one. Kind of sounds like a thriller. And then I'm so glad, I was actually eyeing this a couple weeks ago, and I was like, no, I shouldn't buy that. But it's still sitting on the shelf. I didn't think it was gonna be half off, or I didn't think it was gonna be on sale, but I got it for the sale price. So that's the Gilded Duology by Marissa Mayer, however you say her name. So yeah, I got this gorgeous, like, hardcover. Let me see if I can open it. But yeah, this is normally $40.99, and I got it 33% off and then 10% off. So I ended up getting it for $24.71. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think it tells me how much I saved. Like, it breaks it down, like, I saved somewhere between $36 and $40 on all these books. This is the time to go shopping. Oh, there's also a poster inside. That's cool. I didn't know that. I got this pretty poster inside. Very nice. Well, Gilded is the first one. So here's the first book. There's nothing underneath the jacket. Okay, so this is a haunting retelling of Rumpelstiltskin. Another, like, dark fairy tale story. This one has a very pretty cover. And then this is the sequel to Gilded. So yeah, those are they're very heavy books. I mean, I should have known that, like, you know, getting it. But yeah, so that's what I got from the Barnes & Noble sale. I'm gonna tell my husband about it, so I don't know if I'm gonna be going back again. But that's what I've gotten for now. So now I gotta go and get reading these 7 volumes for today. I just finished the first volume of Beyond the Clouds, Volume 1, and I gave it 4 stars. It is very, very cute, and the art is gorgeous. But we have this 16-year-old boy who loves to read and has always wanted to go on adventures. And he goes regularly to, like, this junk pile to see if he can find any treasures. He calls it the Island of Treasures. And he ends up finding this little, about 10-year-old girl who has a wing. And it looks like her other wing has been, like, ripped off, or, like, she's been injured. So he decides to, like, take her in and help, like, build her a wing. People with wings apparently are very uncommon. And so he's afraid that someone might try to, like, kidnap her or hurt her or something. because I guess she'll be seen as valuable. They actually do get found out and they get attacked. There's more to this little girl than just having wings. And she ends up getting sick, and he now has to like go on his first adventure to help find medicine for her to make her better. And it's just really cute and sweet and simple. So I'm looking forward to the rest of it. It seems very magical. I'm going to read some more. Well, it just turned 7 o'clock and I just finished volume 5 of Beyond the Clouds. This was such a cute series. Like, it was very slow paced, but I think it was coming off to be like more magical and whimsical, to have like this, like that your dreams can come true type of vibe to it. And so overall, I think this series is a 4-star. I really liked it. I thought it was really cute. I just wish it was maybe a little more impactful. Like, because our two main characters, their main goal is to help the girl with wings control her magic. And so they're going around to these different towns trying to find a magician. And so they end up like running into people and helping out and like having fun on this like journey together to find someone to help her. And then we also find out where she actually came from too. So, I mean, it does wrap up and is a good, concise story. But it wasn't very impactful. If it had been more, like, had more of, like, an impact of some kind, I would have given it 5 stars. But because it was just cute and sweet, like, 4 stars. And because it is 7 o'clock and I really don't have anything to do tonight, I am going to go ahead and read The Wolf Boy Is Mine 2-volume omnibus here. Apparently this is for fans of Fruits Basket. It says, after some traumatic experiences, Komugi Kusunoki transferred from the city to start a new life in royal Hokkaido. But on her first day of school, the class heartthrob Yu Ogami blurted out, "You smell good." Despite the hijinks, Komugi tries to adjust to her new school, but it's not long before she stumbles across Yu dozing off under a tree. When she attempts to wake him up, he transforms into a wolf. It turns out that Yu is one of many other eccentric boys in her class year, and she's the only one who knows. So it sounds like this is going to be kind of like she accidentally hugs him, he turns into a wolf, and she finds out that there's other guys in her class that when she hugs them, I guess they turn into animals. So very much like Fruits Basket. So I'm hoping I really like this. I'm going to read this because I'm making myself a pizza, a frozen pizza, and I'm waiting for my oven to heat up, and then I have to let it cook. So I think I'm going to read this while I wait for that. Morning and happy Wednesday. I did read all 7 volumes yesterday. I actually finished volume 2 of That Wolf Boy Is Mine around 11 p.m. last night, and then I read like over 100 pages in a book. That's not part of this vlog, but got lots of reading done yesterday. Wolf Boy Is Mine. I think I said this is like Fruits Basket, where like if someone of the opposite sex hugs them, they turn into an animal. That's wrong. So this is actually based off of Japanese folklore. And we have 4 boys who are in high school, and they're actually animals that can turn into humans. So we have a tanuki, a wolf, a fox, and a cat. They're like pretending to be humans because they like the entertainment that humans have. They like human food, they like video games, you know, books, stuff like that. So our main girl character ends up seeing the wolf boy asleep under a tree, and his ears and his tail are out. So he tries to hypnotize her, because usually if they get caught, they'll hypnotize the person to forget what they saw, and the hypnotism doesn't work on here. So they kind of end up reluctantly kind of like accepting her into like their little group, and like telling her about themselves and like what they really are, and like getting to know her. And one of them is falling in love with her and she with him. And then of course there's some adversity, and then there's also something about a couple of theirs past, like they were connected in the past and it was forgotten. It does take a little bit of a dark turn, but like it's not really dark. You're just made to think that it's dark. It's still sad, but it's not as dark as they make it seem. But overall, this was a really cute series. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was very cute, very wholesome. This is by the same person who did Love and Focus. I think Love and Focus is better, but it was just as cute. So I think this has been my favorite read so far of this little vlog of mine. But we have 2 days left. As of right now, I have read 31 manga for this. But we need to spin the wheel and see how many manga I have to read for today. It seems to keep going down, so we'll see if it goes down again. Oh no. 14! It's really wanting me to read a lot of manga. Oh my god, 14. Oh, I can read Waiting for Spring out right here. 14 volumes. Got this series right here. Well, I guess I'm reading this today. I know this was like all the rage at one point. Like everyone was talking about this. I believe it's like a sports romance. Let's see. Mitsuki longs to experience true friendship, but she struggles to open her heart to others. As a high school student, she's determined to make a change. Her chance to make friends comes from the last place she'd expect: four handsome, popular members of the basketball team. Although Mitsuki is wary about getting along with these school princes, she starts to see the possibility of a lasting connection when she gets to know their unique personalities. With a new group of friends, an exciting high school life may be waiting for this former wallflower. So it looks like basketball high school romance. Again, four guys. I don't know. It's always either like two or four guys, it seems like. I can understand two guys because the love triangle, but why four? I wonder if four is like significant in Japan or something. Or that way you get all the different personalities. You have soft boy, mean boy, best friend, and a quiet loner. I don't know. Get them all in there. So yeah, I will be reading all of these today. Oh boy. I think I can do it. It's like 10:19 right now, so I should be able to get through all these today. I was hoping for another light day, but that's not in my cards apparently. Maybe I'll get a light day tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna go and start reading these. Just woke up from a nap. I have read 7 volumes of, Waiting for Spring. I finished the 7th volume and then I fell asleep. So I'm halfway through today. So far, I would say Waiting for Spring is like a 3.5 series. I'm giving some volumes 3 stars, some volumes 4 stars. But like, honestly, I'm not getting why everyone was hyped up for this one. Unless it's because it's about a girl who is in love with a guy that plays sports and is having like a love triangle with guys that play sports, and I know like that's really popular in romances right now, so maybe that's everyone's like, oh my goodness. But like, I've read so many better manga. So I mean, like, it's cute, but I don't feel like it's anything special right now. We have this girl Mitsuki who's a first year in high school. In the past, she's had trouble making friends. I believe in this one it's because I forget why she's having, it seems like every single manga I've been reading for this, the girl has issues making friends or communicating with people or something. Like, the girls are all like loner types. I don't remember the exact reason why but she's had problems making friends, and the basketball team has these 4 guys, 2 first years and 2 second years, who are like the elite 4, and like they have a fan club, and like, you know, all the girls go and watch their games and everything because they're like obsessed with them, and you know, they're basically like the school idols pretty much. She works at this cafe where one of the guys crush works at, and she initially gets involved with him because the guy tells his friends that he has this crush on this girl who works there, and so his friends thinks it's our main girl character. So they drag her outside so that he can confess to her. But then he's like, you got the wrong girl. And so then like they're kind of mean to her because she wasn't who they were looking for. She ends up like getting to know them, and then like, you know, starts having a crush on one of them, and then a couple of them like her, and then like she has this friend from childhood who she's always talking about who enters the picture then. And so it's her and this group of guys and her old best friend kind of like all fighting over her. Not all of the guys. 2 of the main 4 like her, and then the friend likes her, which when you first start reading this, you might be confused why, but it will make sense when it shows up. And then I think, I don't know, they're talking about some other guy coming eventually too. I'm wondering if he is going to maybe eventually like her too. So it's just pretty generic. Like, there's been a few scenes that made me go, and I'm of course for the old friend. I'm voting for the old friend, but I know it's not going to happen. It's okay. I really like him. He's got long hair. He's very talented. And like their moments have just been so cute together. You know? Now that I'm up, I have to give my cats treats. And then I need to do my dailies and get food. Like my phone game dailies. Get food. And then I need to try to finish reading the last 7 volumes. It's like a little after 7 o'clock. I think I can do it. Guten Morgen. I did get all 14 volumes read of Waiting for Spring. I finished the 14th and last volume at like 2:30 a.m. this morning. So yay. There's only been one day where I didn't read all the books. And of course, it was because it was Christmas Day and I had to spend time with family because, you know, Christmas is important. I think overall I'd give this series a 3.75 because the first half of the series I gave mostly 3 stars. And then, like, the second half, I think I gave 4 stars. And then this last volume, I gave 5 stars. So I think a 3.75 is fair. This series was cute, but the romance is so slow burn. And I think romantasy has kind of changed what I like in a book. Because now I really like banter. I like it when, like, the characters are, like, you know, very, like, bantery with each other, and you feel like that sexual tension. It's like they're trying to, like, deny that they want to be together, and, like, I mean, this is high school. I mean, there's banter in high school or YA books too, but, like, I just felt like the romance for this was so slow, and the girl was, like, she was, like, in love. She liked the boy, like, I think in the second or third volume, and it took him, like, a while to, like, realize that he actually cared about her. And because of the stupid rule that the basketball team can't date, they then both admitted that they liked each other, but then they still couldn't actually date because of that stupid rule. So they were trying to put in, like, I guess, like, forbidden romance, but, like, okay, there's a stupid little rule, and, like, once you leave high school, like, it's over, it's done with. Like, high school is such a small part of your life. It doesn't honestly matter if that rule exists, because I think in Japan, high school is only 3 years. Because there's first, second, and third years. So, like, it's not that long. And Japanese students are, like, so busy. Like, they have help out. They have tons of homework. They have to be in school for, I think, 6 days a week. They don't get as many breaks as I think, like, the US does. Like, they also, a lot of them have after school activities. They have, like, test centers and, like, tutoring and stuff, because, like, they all want to get, I mean, the majority of them want to get, like, really good grades so that they can, like, you know, get good jobs and whatnot. So it's like, I don't understand why it would be that big of a deal to wait until you're out of high school, since you're so freaking busy anyway. I grew up in the US, and I was really busy as a high schooler because, let's see, first off, I had school and ballet, and I took ballet like 3 nights a week. And then I'm also a Seventh-day Adventist, so I keep the Sabbath from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. So I wouldn't be going on a date Friday nights. And then I think my junior year, it was my sophomore, junior year, I quit ballet and I started doing martial arts. And then my senior year of high school, I was doing martial arts and got my first part-time job while also doing school with all my homework and everything. So, like, even if I had wanted to have a boyfriend in high school, I wouldn't have time. I don't have as much to do like Japanese students do. So, like, I don't understand why it's like, oh no, you can't date. But the the last volume has a whole bunch of, like, short stories. Like, there's 3 main short stories, and then there's, like, mini stories, or, like, mini comics, whatever you want to call them. I thought these were really, really cute. Like, especially the one about Kyosuke. Oh, I was just like, my heart. It was so good. Like, that story on its own was 5 stars. And then, I don't know, I just felt like each story kind of packed more of a punch than the actual, like, manga as a whole did. It's a cute series, but I know everyone, I think it was, like, 2 years ago, everyone was, like, reading this in, like, the booktube community and, like, raving about it, and I don't get the hype. They were also raving about Orange at the same time, and Orange is amazing. I did read that one earlier this year, and it was that was good. But this one's just, it's okay. So now it's time to spin the wheel for the last time. Today is the 5th day. It's the last day doing this. So let's see how many volumes I have to read for today. The only thing I have to do, besides read, is go grocery shopping tonight. I got 5! Actually, that's really good, because I was hoping I'd either get 5 or 10, because there's 2 different series that are about vampires. One was 5 volumes, one was 10 volumes. So I know exactly what I'm going to go and read. So I'm going to go and grab that. Alright, so I'm going to be reading Rosenblood, which is another Sojo Beat series. Everything I've read for this vlog so far has either been Sojo Beat or Kodansha comics. I guess that's what I mostly buy. Well, I do have quite a few 7Cs. So I think I mostly buy 7Cs, Kodansha, and Sojo Beat. I think Sojo Beat is what I have the most of. And then, of course, I have some of the Shonen Jump Viz manga also, but I don't collect that as much. It's too repetitive. Rosenblood. So this is about vampires. It says, what lurks behind the gazes of mesmerizing men who eat blood-red crystals. After a horrific carriage accident, Stella Violetta awakens in a gothic mansion to find that her saviors are gorgeous young men. The manor's residents let her stay as a maid, but Stella soon realizes that their allure hides a savage thirst. Levy Ruin and the mysterious men who took Stella in have a bare kitchen and a moaning box in the storehouses. A moaning, like someone's moaning in it? What? After discovering mansion dweller Gilbert's lifelike sculptures, the new maid faces a sinister reality. Can she survive the bloodlust? Stella must distinguish danger from passion as fear begins to feed on her. I guess she becomes a maid? And it looks like there's a romance. Kind of gives me like Diabolic Lovers vibes. That's like a vampire anime. It might be a manga too, but I know for sure it's a 2-season anime. But yeah, I'm going to get to reading these and I'll let you know what I think. Okay, this vlog is over. I read all 5 volumes of Rosenblood. So I got all of these read. I gave the series 3 stars because, like Fruits Basket and Other, I don't understand what the plot was, like, at all. Like, we have this girl who, her carriage crashes and she's rescued by this guy, and she wakes up in his mansion. Come to find out, there's these 4 beautiful men that live there, and they're like all monsters. I thought they were vampires, but they're actually monsters. And like, they were actually like created by someone, and she has like this whole thing set up that they're all supposed to do. And they apparently eat girls. Like, they actually like turn them into crystals and like eat them. So it's not just like sucking blood. It's just, they're almost like, I guess, like ghouls. Because I think in Tokyo Ghoul they eat flesh or whatever, but in this one they actually just turn them to crystals and eat the crystals. But like, I didn't get the point of the book like at all. It just like, we just got thrown into this story in this world with really no explanation. And like, our main girl character has like a little backstory, but again, like, it didn't really have much to do with the plot at all. And then like, she falls in love with the guy who rescued her super quickly. And then like, all of the guys are in love with her, and I'm just like, what is going on here? The artwork is gorgeous, and it also gave me very much Kaori Yuki vibes. So if you liked Angel Sanctuary, Godchild, Demon from Afar, those, it had the same vibes as that, but like literally no plot. So like, Kaori Yuki has plot. There's like a purpose. There's like a set, like, this is what we're doing and why we're doing it, and this is the end goal. We're in the, I literally don't know what the point of this book, this manga series was. But I was like, I could see Kaori Yuki writing this and just making it like 10 times better, because she'd actually like flesh it out and give it like a story. So yeah, those are my thoughts. In total, because I read 13 books on Sunday, it was 11 books on Monday, 7 books on Tuesday, 14 books on Wednesday, and 5 manga on Thursday. So it came out to 50 volumes of manga, which is about 10 volumes per day, which I remember in high school, I would literally get like manga in the mail and sit down and read like all 10, 50, however many were in the box. And I'd be like, I'm done. And my dad would be like, wait, you read all of those? I'm like, yeah. He goes, but you just got them. I'm like, and? But I felt like, I don't know, maybe I'm not reading as fast, but it took me a lot longer, I feel, to read the manga than it did when I was in high school. Well, let me show you my pile of read manga. Here's my pile. These are all of the manga I read for this challenge. I think my favorite series that I read was Midnight Secretary out of all of those. And then also That Wolf Boy Is Mine. I think those are my 2 favorites because the stories were good. I liked the romance. Even a Midnight Secretary didn't really have a plot either. I feel like their relationship was the plot, and them figuring out how a vampire and human can like be together when like there's all these rules with the vampires. That was pretty much the plot. So I kind of got the gist of what the series was about. And That Wolf Boy Is Mine clearly had a plot too. It was shorter, and it was like a high school romance, so it was, you know, cute and sweet. But I also think overall it was a really good series. The other ones, Beyond the Clouds, it was gorgeous, and there was a pretty clear story. But like, it didn't have any oomph. I wasn't really passionate about it, but it was gorgeous. And then like, everything else was just kind of average. And oh my goodness, so many series I read, the main girl character can't make friends. There was something in their past, and for some reason they can't connect to people, or they don't know how to communicate, or they did something that turned all the girls against them, and now they are like walking on eggshells around all girls because they think that if they step out of line that the girls are gonna ostracize them. I'm like, what is up with all these girls who can't make friends? Like, I understand, I have trouble making friends too. That's just because I don't relate to a lot of people. I don't really know like what to talk to people about. And then I also get like very passionate about things. and I can sometimes only communicate about the things that I'm like hyper fixating on. So that's kind of tough to be friends with someone if they're not also hyper fixating on the same things, because then they're just like, she's crazy. I mean, I don't know if they actually think I'm crazy, but yeah, I can imagine that's what they're thinking. But yeah, so overall, this is a really great challenge. I got so many manga read. Every day but Christmas, I was able to read the manga that the number generator told me to read. And yeah, I think I might actually do this again next year in like December, because I feel like this was a good way. Like, I blew my Goodreads goal out of the water. Like, I think I only needed 9 more books to read or something, and I read 50. So I'm like at well, I was at 288 and now I'm at 289, because actually last night after I finished reading the manga and everything, I did finish reading another book too. So I got lots of reading done, and my vacation, oh, I don't know if I told you all, I'm actually on vacation until January 2nd. So I still have more time to read, but I also have errands and stuff to do now. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like this video, if you would like me to do another like random generator type video. I figured this one would be fun and something I'd enjoy doing that I hadn't seen other people do. So yeah, like, comment below if you'd like to see me do this again, or if you'd like to see me do some type of other reading challenge. And I hope you have a wonderful good day or night, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.